Hello, everyone, and welcome back into the Mountain Studios. This is 5 and 15, and I am your host, Frank Martin. As you know, 5 and 15 is a show that highlights all we do here at the network in 15 minutes. It's quick, like the amount of time it took Tim Miles to bolt for the Big Ten. That's right, it's a sad day here for 5 and 15. Here's what's on today's menu, like any of it matters. Most of you should know by now, Tim Miles has been hired as the new basketball coach at the University of Nebraska. The coach that once called 5 and 15 his favorite show on television ever is gone. All right, he never said that, and I'm sure CSU will survive, but Miles is pretty funny, which is what this show craves. Here's how the Mountain Sports Report said goodbye to Coach Timmy.
All right, we're going to leave you tonight with the best of Tim Miles, who was always great to us and for us here at the Mountain, and we wish him well at Nebraska.
And my goal is in 2 years to have a CSU North Dakota State matchup in the NCAA tournament. You know, I mean, that's my goal.
Where's my whistle?
That's it.
Hang on. Do I have it on? Where's your whistle? Is it on me? I got 9 microphones. There it is. I found it.
I think the biggest...
How much longer is this going to be? Do you know I have a schedule to keep? I'm a busy guy.
Now, Jimmer, what you got to do on your jumper is you got to get it up right here. Trying to get you in the show, man. Come on. Now, you're not Kobe Bryant. Let me just tell you that. All right? You're not Kobe Bryant. All right? Does everybody hear that? This is Flynn Clayman. Welcome. Does everybody say, hi, Flynn? Hi, Flynn. Yeah, you're not. I didn't hear one guy say Kobe. All right?
Where's Jeff Galooey at, or whatever his name is? That was a joke. If something happens to that, it wasn't me. All right? Well, this particular stage is higher than I thought it was going to be. I'm hoping I don't fall off the damn thing. You know, because seriously, you could really get hurt if you go off this. I mean, I'm like, clearly my feet are above your head. So that's high.
You can't use that. That's off the record. That's off the record.
All right, stories like that one are what you'll see every night on the Mountain Sports Report. Please check your local listings for the next airing of the MSR. Well, I don't know how many shows we've done, but Tim Miles has been a part of most of them. Even still, I plan on coping with his loss, folks. Don't worry about me. Wait a second, I just figured it out. He's not really leaving, is he? You guys are pulling. That is an awesome joke. He's not leaving. I mean, oh my gosh, you guys almost had me. That's hilarious. I'll play along anyways, though. Here's what you, the fan, said about Coach Miles taking that job in Lincoln. Sarah Eishin said she knew it would happen. Big loss for the conference. Rich Normandy, I suppose he had to do it. However, Nebraska is not a significant upgrade and has not been the greatest place for coaches. Omar Avedano said it would be tough to make an argument for staying at CSU when a Big Ten team comes calling. Russ Morgan, well, he said CSU is a football school anyways. Basketball will always be secondary. I'm adding the voice myself. I think Steve Alford will be the next to leave for something bigger and better. He doesn't really talk like that. Hey, Jay Scott said, congrats to Coach Miles. The only downfall is that I had to change my avatar. Added a smiley face. Chris Holden said this, as an alum, sad to see him go. From a financial standpoint, however, I understand it. You can always reach out to the Mountain on Facebook. We are facebook.com/MW-Sportsnet. All right, naturally, we weren't the only show to talk about Tim Miles and his departure. Here's how the Around the Mountain guys handled it.
Whenever you had an assignment to talk to Tim Miles, it was like, sweet, I hope we can go for like an hour or so. But how big of a loss is it, and are you surprised by the move?
It's a big loss. It's a huge loss for many reasons. One, you're losing an outstanding coach, but you're right. For guys like me in the radio, television business, we like good stories. We like good personalities. We like people who say things, and Tim Miles did all of that. I'm not surprised that he left. I never once felt that he was going to be a Colorado State lifer because he's an outstanding coach, and you just knew that he was going to eventually move on to one of the so-called bigger conferences.
The guys get into it every Wednesday on Around the Mountain. Joining Bill Dolman this week, Mountain analyst Mike Evans, as you just saw, New Mexico reporter Van Tate, and from the University of Wyoming, Dave Walsh. All right, right now, that he's gone, I'm going to let you in on a little truth. We don't really need Tim Miles in this conference. We've got plenty of other stuff to talk about. Forget about him. Like Air Force basketball. On March 3rd, Air Force removed the interim tag and gave Dave PILIPOVICH the official title of head coach. There's something to talk about. There's also a lot of pressure that comes with that title. a lot of work too, and it can run you down, as we learned.
Years past, sometimes you're some schools where you're going to drive a lot more and travel distances, and I was one to get into a car and think nothing of driving 6, 7, 8 hours to go see a prospect. And a few years back, I was coming back from Indiana, and it was late at night, and I've had an 8-hour drive out and an 8-hour drive back, and I guess I was dozing off at the wheel, which is not a good thing. So I get pulled over on the side of the road, and they think I'm a drunken driver. And I tried to explain to the officer that I've been driving all day, I'm coaching, so they put me through the DUI test, and goodness gracious, that was a scary moment. So after that, the officer realized I was telling the truth, so he took me to Bob Evans. He got a coffee, I got an iced tea, I had breakfast. He wanted to make sure I got some time to relax, and then he told me I need to get on my way or get a hotel room. So that was a scary moment, but it was a little different moment as well.
You can hear more from the Falcons head coach when we roll out our season review shows. The first round of shows will debut on April 7th. Log on to the MTN TV and check out the TV schedule tab. There you will find airtimes for every single one of your favorite Mountain West teams. All right, maybe Coach Miles will come back if we do a really good show. He's going to come back. He's going to realize he made a mistake. Maybe we can prove to him that this is the best place to be, like when we proved it to TCU and Boise State. Remember that, guys? What? That didn't work? What about San Diego State? Them too? Anywho, we had a great basketball season, and it's a shame we must say goodbye. But we at 5-15 decided to go out with a bang. So here are the top 5 dunks from the recently completed basketball season. All right, this first jam brought to you by a pair of Boise State Broncos who felt no need to box out.
Wow, what a follow by Washington. Out of nowhere.
Speaking of out of nowhere, that's where UNLV came from earlier this year to beat North Carolina. And wow, John Hanson won't be on a national title poster this year. He'll be on the Anthony Marshall poster. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. All right, number 1 on your Player of the Year ballots, but number 3 on our dunk list, Jamal Franklin. Seriously, folks? That was only number 3? Crazy. Apparently, there's less love for the Aztecs around the studios than there is in the conference. You want proof? Well, I give you Larry Nance. Sorry, Chase Tapley.
Luster gets it. He's got Larry Nance on the other side, and he leaves it for him. And he ducks it home, flying in for Wyoming 2. Alert air traffic control. We have incoming.
But number 1 is this high percentage shot from Garland Green.
Mountain West Conference USA, and with authority, Garland Green just explodes.
Whoa. Well said, Stevie Lapis, well said. All right, we're going to take a real quick break here on 5-15, but don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show after this.